like meet people, you know, like Nikki, and it's like they're like strong, courageous, because it's a fight. It is such a fight to come through addiction and recovery and getting back what was lost, you know, and so
it's an everyday battle. My name's Nikki. I met Pastor Tony and Missy up at Gateway. He was right around the corner. I don't know if y'all know about that place. It's a drug rehab. And it took me a while to start talking to Miss Missy. I remember when she would come on Friday nights and do they did like a women's ministry or it's women's night and we'd play games and stuff like that. But I just kept listening up there. I was in there for addiction. I was on drugs extremely bad. I've been on drugs repeatedly every day, having to use nonstop for about 13 years. And the probably past 5 years of it is when it got completely out of control. I was in a beyond abusive relationship where I was getting beat up pretty bad on a regular basis. And because of that, DCF got called. I was pregnant and I showed up somewhere I had black eyes and DCF got called. And my son told his teacher at school. So during the time that they got called, they found out about my drug addiction. And things spiraled, got out of control within that time. I ended up losing all my children. I ended up on the streets. I was homeless to get away from the abusive relationship. And then through that homeless, I ended up going out and doing any and everything I possibly could do to get drugs. Because like I never understood, like I would always hear people say words like, oh, I'm so sad, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I'm this. I never really understood what hopeless felt like until the day I walked in the Gateway store. At that point, I didn't care. I know I had overdosed 5 times within about a 3-month span, which were pretty bad overdoses where I had to be hospitalized and kept in there quite a bit. But I remember each time waking up and being so frustrated that I woke up. You know, it was never an attempt to kill myself. That was never what I thought was happening. It was truly at a point just to get high. But when I did overdose, it was like, yes, I'm finally at peace. I'm done, you know? And every time I woke up, I remember just being so angry and like, God, like, I just like, you're so cruel for waking me up and making me still have to live this life, you know? I was like, I don't want to be in drugs, but this is the only way I'm happy. This is the only way I feel anything. This is the only way I feel normal. I'm sick. I can't even get out taking care of my children. You know, I'm out here prostituting, I'm stealing, I'm robbing, like, you know, and I hated myself. I hated my life. I mean, hopeless is not even the word. I degraded myself, belittled. I didn't care who, what had happened. I did it in order to get drugs, and I was beyond strung out. So I finally turned over and came to Gateway, and I thought I was just there to really get off drugs. And I'm not going to lie, like when I came, I was really like disappointed when they talked about the 12 steps. And that's what it was to, you know, get clean, because it was this higher power, I was so disappointed when I found out that was the answer. I was like, you know, I've been told this all my life, and I was like, if this is it, I'm going to be a drug addict forever. I really am. And, but through talking, I just remember watching Miss Missy when she would come in, and the love that she had and the peace that she had in her life. And I started hearing the way that they talked about the relationship with Jesus was versus the way I was raised, that it was fire and brimstone. You know, you looked at this man lustfully, you're going to hell. You know, you had sex before, you're going to hell. Like everything, you had no redemption. There was no way of coming back from it. You know, and so I felt like a complete loss of that. And I felt like I was always fighting to try and get God's love and grace, and like for Him to think that I was worth anything. And that was the first time that Miss Missy and Pastor Tone that like they showed me and told me that when I decided to accept Jesus in my life, that He was going to love me as much right then as He would if I went and became a missionary, you know, overseas in Guatemala and gave my whole life to doing everything for Jesus. You know, that I had earned His love at that time, and when He died on the cross for me and everything. So I've just been trying to live that relationship, I guess, with Jesus at this point. Miss Missy, Pastor Tone, and Church, they have been a huge foundation for me in standing strong. While I was still in Gateway, I messed up. I lost my children again because I did get them back. I got them reunified with me. I lost them again when I was at Gateway, and they went to their father that was extremely abusive. And I was pretty scared because they told me that I had no leg to stand on, that the children were going to be going there. And when we were at court, I ended up finding out that he was back in jail for beating a new woman up. And he beat the police, or jumped on the police officers and paramedics. So finally, because of that, that morning they decided to give me another chance with my children and to let me finish working out my case plan. And that's where I'm at now. And I'm literally just waiting on my fingerprints to come back. My children get to come with me. I just got a letter in the mail last week. I finally got accepted into a program after 3.5 years to get housing, to find a house of my choice, so I don't even have to pay the projects somewhere crazy and messy, you know. But so I'm really excited. I'm really excited.